Welcome back to my monthly reflection for January 2021, which is called The Definition of Sin. So this month we are to reflect on the following, and it's good also to take it into prayer. The definition of sin. Many people all over the world play around with the word sin. It is not the first time that I have heard people deny the existence of sin. Other people might say, "Come on, forget about sin. Enjoy life and do whatever you want." Are these people correct about the non-existence of sin? I wonder why these people have such ideas that sin does not exist. For me, sin does exist. And so does God. It is not only because of my Christian faith that I have been taught and brought up in that I believe in sin, but it is mostly through my own experience of life, of my personal experience of God. Life has taught me that when I am not at peace with myself, with my neighbor, and with God, it is because some kind of sin has taken over my being and disturbs my spiritual realm, my relationship with the loving Father. In other words, whenever I am not in peace, it's because some kind of sin takes control of my life. I know many other people who share similar experiences of mine. These are people who had encouraged other persons to fall in different addictions, people who had been bullied their employees, and such other examples. However, these people at a particular point in their life, through the grace of God, realized that they were living in sin, understood that sin does in fact exist, and decided through great conviction to follow Jesus and say no to the sinful life they had been living in. So, what is the definition of sin? The Catechism of the Catholic Church, paragraph 1849 to 1851, clearly explains what sin is, as indicated in the following text. Sin is an offense against reason, truth, and right conscience. It is failure in genuine love for God and neighbor, caused by a perverse attachment to certain goods. It wounds the nature of man and injures human solidarity. It had been defined as an utterance, a deed, or a desire contrary to the eternal law. Sin is an offense against God. Against you alone have I sinned, and done that which is evil in your sight. Sin sets itself against God's love for us and turns our hearts away from it. Like the first sin, it is disobedience, a revolt against God through the will to become like God's, knowing and determining good and evil. Sin is thus love of oneself, even to contempt of God. In this proud self-exaltation, sin is diametrically opposed to the obedience of Jesus, which achieves our salvation. It is precisely in the Passion, when the mercy of Christ is about to vanquish it, that sin must clearly manifest its violence and its many forms: unbelief, murderers, hatred, shunning and mockery by the leaders and the people, Pilate's cowardice and cruelty of the soldiers, Judas' betrayal, so bitter to Jesus, Peter's denial and the disciples' flight. However, at the very hour of darkness, the hour of the prince of this world, the sacrifice of Christ secretly becomes the source from which the forgiveness of our sins will pour forth inexhaustibly. In view of what the Catechism of the Catholic Church teaches, and through my experience of life, Sin is anything that makes an offense to God, or any kind of action that offends a human being. The offense to a human being can be made during the time a human being is still in the mother's womb, during the lifetime of a human being, and also after a human being dies. Sin is anything that separates man from the love of God and of his neighbor. My friends, this reflection is an extract from my book, Come to Me. If you're interested to purchase this book, it is available at Amazon, Smashwords, Barnes & Noble, and other online ebook stores. Until we meet again next month for my next monthly reflection, I wish you all the best. God bless you and take care.